Hi everyone. Welcome back to Get Your Play Online. Today I'm Hannah and we will be doing fun in the kitchen. So today we'll be making yummy snow cones and they're relatively easy and you pretty much have everything you need in your house. And yeah, perfect for this week's theme, carnival and circus, just like you would get at a carnival or a fair. Let's get started. So actually, I am a huge fan of making snow cones, and once for my birthday, I got a actual snow cone maker. So I've been making snow cones for quite some time, but this one I made with the maker that I have, but I'll show you how to make them this time in a blender, and they'll be super easy, but the blender, if you're younger, you may need someone to help you with the blender, an older parent or guardian or sibling can help you with that. The other things that you'll need, I'll set this one, which is perfectly round, to the side. The other things that you will need are ice. You can just get those from your freezer, and then some sort of shaping utensil or tool. So I have this little circular little spoon that is made for making snow cones from my maker. But if you don't have one of those, you can just use a plain spoon or even an ice cream scooper or something similar to this, like a ladle or something to shape it. And finally, I have these on hand, which are just little snow cone little cups. But if you don't have that, you can use a smaller cup that you might have, and or you can make one out of paper if you wanted. And the last thing that we'll need is some sort of flavoring. So I like to make my snow cones a little bit healthier, not with the sugary syrup. So something that you can use that tastes just as good is if you have lemonade or a juice on hand, something like that, or even watermelon. You could blend up some watermelon with the lemonade, whatever flavoring you would like. But those are more simple that you would have on hand, possibly if you wanted to use strawberries, cherries, something like that, that you would have during the summertime. So today I'm going to be making mine with just lemonade from the store, and I made one the other day and it tasted great. If you do have syrups, you could use those, but these are much more of a healthier option, and this is a refreshing treat for the summer. So let's get started. Once again, be careful with the blender if you're not used to using a blender, or you have an adult to help you. That would just be great. And the other thing that you might not think is tricky to use, but the ice is sometimes so freezing cold when you get it out of the freezer, so it might be too cold to hold. So you can use a paper towel or something like that, but I just place my ice in a bowl so that I'm not touching it the whole time. Okay, so this is just going to be a fun treat, and you can either pause it and go back, or you can try the treat while I'm doing it. So first, I'm just going to take my blender. I just blended a little bit before this so I could show you the snow cone example before. But you're just going to take the ice and put it into your cup. And I would say I have about 10 or 12 ice cubes, and it's going to be pretty loud because blenders are already pretty loud, but if you're using ice, it's going to be pretty loud. And you can always add more ice or less, however big you want your snow cone to be. So if you want to turn the volume down for a second, it's going to be pretty loud. I'm blending it right here. So if you want to turn your volume down for a second so it's not too loud, do that now. And here we go. Now I'm going to blend it. And you have to try a few times, just in a row. Sometimes it gets stuck because it's ice. You can mix it around, but you just blend it until it gets a smaller consistency. And sometimes I mix it around to give a break because the blender sometimes needs a little bit of a break. And you can see the ice is like holding onto the top. So you can tell that it's really blending it up into that snow cone consistency. So I'll just do it a few more times and then it will be good to form. Okay, so once more, turn your volume down if it's too loud. There we go. Okay, so that should be good. Now I will say the snow cone maker that I have makes it a little bit thinner, the ice thinner than the regular blender, but it's still really good consistency. So I'm just going to take the ice off the top, make sure it's all in the cup, and now we can get to filling the little cup, or if you have like a little, here, let me grab one. If you want to use a smaller cup like this, you could do that, and it might not be the perfect round shape if you use one of these, but that will work just as fine. But I'm going to use one of these just because I have them and they're super fun, just like a real snow cone that you would get at the fair or the carnival, something like that. So now I'm just going to take the spoon that I have, except you could use, once again, a regular spoon, an ice cream cone, anything like an ice cream scooper, not a cone, anything like that, and shape it into your cup. So I'm just going to take some of the ice, and you can put it in there, and then I pack it down so it really makes it flat so that it won't be all bumpy. And then sometimes the ice sticks together, so you're gonna have to shake it. And then you pack it down just like that. And then the key is that at the top, you want, at the top where you're going to make the rounded part, you want it to be super flat. So that's kind of why I'm packing it down. I'm going to use the spoon for this part. So you want it to be super flat at the top so that the circular part can hold. Sometimes you'll have to use your hands if it's too difficult. But yeah, so you just want it to be super flat, and then you can get to the rounded part. So for the rounded part, when I use this spoon, I make sure that the whole thing is full, so it will be that perfect circular part. So I get all the remaining ice, and I make sure it's packed in there. And it's still pretty, sometimes it can get stuck, so there we go. So then I want to get the rest of the ice into the circular part, and then you can break off little pieces if there's too much on the top. And then you're just going to put it on top. Some parts might fall, that's not a big deal, but you might need to shape it a little bit more once you're done. But there, it's a little bit off center. And then you can go back and fill it with other pieces of ice. I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but make sure if you're doing this that you wash your hands before. I wash my hands several times so that my hands aren't dirty as I'm working with the ice. So yeah, so then that's pretty good. Obviously, it's not as perfect as the one from the actual snow cone maker, but then once you have your ice formed, you can go ahead and get creative with the flavorings that you want to use. So at the carnival or the circus, they might use like actual syrups, but that's kind of difficult to get at home. So you can use something that you have on hand. So I'm going to be using lemonade. Some other ideas you could use were, you could use maybe a soda if your parents would let you, something like a root beer or a Sprite, something like that. Or you could use lemonade like me, or as I said before, I have watermelon here. If you wanted to blend some watermelon with either water or lemonade too, or strawberries, something like that, that could be really sweet on the ice. So it would be kind of like the ones from the circus, but it's much more, it's better for you and it tastes just as yummy. So then we're going to do, once you have the snow cone, you're going to take the flavoring that you would want. So today I'm going to be using the lemonade. So I'm just going to put my snow cone in the bowl for a quick second. And since it's ice, it won't melt that quick. And then you're just going to take the lemonade or juice or whichever you're using. And then you can just put it all around. It's okay if it drips a little, as long as you have a paper towel underneath. Just like that. And it might drip just a tiny bit, but you can hold it over a bowl, something like that. And I will say you might need to eat it pretty quickly because it's ice, so it's going to melt. So this is a great treat for when you're in the mood for it right away. And it's something like a great idea for today. I live in Chicago and it's 90 degrees today. So this is the perfect summer treat for when it's super hot out and you want something refreshing. So this is perfect for the carnival theme too because it reminds me of something you would get at the circus. And then the other thing that you could do if you wanted to make it look more like the ones at the fair is you could add something like food coloring or something to make it look more vibrant, like the ones that they would give you at the circus. So yeah, that's my finished one. And then I'm going to put this one in my bowl just for now. And then I'm going to add flavoring to the one that I made in my maker before. So this one obviously is more circular. I used this as well. And if you have a maker, that's fantastic. You must be a snow cone lover like me. But once again, you can use a ladle or something like that to shape and form it, or an ice cream scooper if you want. So you could also use something else that I thought of that you could use is if you have either like Crystal Light packets or if you have Kool-Aid, something like that, some sort of tropical juice, you could use that as well. Just mix it with water or something and then you could pour it on to make it really fun. So I'm going to put lemonade on this one as well. And the more you do them, the better they'll look. So you could get them pretty close to being circular like this. But then make sure when you're pouring it, you get it all around the sides. And that's really how you'll get the flavor across. It's kind of hard sometimes. So you might need a buddy to help you with this part too, or a parent. But there, then you have both your snow cones you can enjoy with a friend. So that is the final product for both of the snow cones. So as you can tell, it goes super, super quick and you can have a tasty treat in no time. And then at the end, you'll just want to make sure you clean up your space. So there might be some water on the table or from the ice already melting. So just make sure you clean up with a paper towel, clean all of your supplies and the cone as well. Even though it's ice, it still may be dirty from the freezer, so you want to make sure your hands are super clean and that you wash all of your dishes. And make sure that if you're using a blender, you have someone to help you. And that is all for the snow cone. So enjoy and have a great circus carnival themed week. Bye everyone.